the latest ever title decider. Lights out on race 1. Not a good start at all from Scott Redding. Ray is away superbly. Garrett Gerloff comes through on Toprak Razgatlioglu. Andrea Locatelli comes through on the inside of Razgatlioglu. Redding recovering to the inside line. Toprak pushed back to third. It's Ray who leads early on. Gerloff loses out in the initial skirmish. Tom Sykes forcing his way through very nicely indeed. Remember, from 6th position on the grid, he's already up to 4th. Gerloff a little tentative. Bassani comes through as well. Bautista also making progress. Rinaldi with a really strong start. All the way down in 14th position he started this race. He's already up inside the top 10. Mercado just losing a spot as Rinaldi comes through on him. Further progress now being made by Michael Ruben Rinaldi. It looks like he's got through on Bautista and Gerloff already, so he's gained all the way up from 14th on the grid to 7th position just in the early stages. Toprak finding his feet at the front of the field. It's Jonathan Ray who's burst from the line. Ideal situation for the number 1. He's got a buffer in Scott Redding between himself and Razgatlioglu, but not for much longer. Redding tipping in there a little late, and Toprak gets through, and Tom Sykes right on the pace and right on the case of this top 3.
Yeah, Sykes with that X tyre really strong in the opening lap, coming through from 6th on the grid. We saw Gerloff make a good start in the run down in towards turn 1, lose a lot of ground. Toprak got off the line a little bit slowly. He's come up to speed pretty quickly here on lap 1, though, up into 2nd spot.
Very early days to be talking about the championship given these conditions, as Tom Sykes scythes through on Scott Redding. Redding, though, on the switchback will have the inside line as they make their way off turns 13 and 14 up towards the longest braking area on this circuit, in towards the slowest corner on this 4.3 kilometre track, and in towards turn 16. Jonathan Ray beginning to have to defend now. Same for Scott Redding behind him, who's been well and truly dropped by Toprak Razgatlioglu. Now remember, in the context of the championship, Toprak only needs 2nd place in order to seal this title, but he's not one for settling for 2nd. He's going to be a racer to the last. Toprak at the start of lap 2 thinks about a move on Jonathan Ray. Whatever you do, don't collect the back of him. Ray holds firm. Less than 1/10 of a second between them, though, at the end of lap number 1.
Yeah, Toprak's looking pretty good there, trying to make a run on the run into towards turn 1. He looks comfortable at this stage. It's in the second half of the lap, though. That's where it really is in the damper conditions, so we'll wait and see what it's like on the run into towards turn 10. But Toprak doing a good job at this stage, keeping a watching brief there. Big crash, that could be Koenig at the start of the lap.
Very spectacularly indeed, and his inexperience telling there. He'd worked his way up quite nicely into 15th position at the time of going down as well, so a shame for Oliver Koenig, but it just goes to show that the top men, the experienced men, are able to make the difference in these conditions, and that's exactly what Toprak Razgatlioglu is trying to do here, hassling and harrying Jonathan Ray into the braking zones. Lap 2 of 20. This is going to feel like the longest race ever for those two.
Yeah, this is going to feel like they're tiptoeing around, really riding on their fingertips. And what's interesting is you can see for Toprak there, he looks like he's got that little bit of extra pace right now, a little bit more confidence than Jonathan Ray. Just looking at the riders as well, looks like they're all still out there in full dry configuration for themselves. Doesn't look like anyone's out there on wet weather knee sliders to give them that little bit more of a chance to be able to have that stability. So everyone's still out there trying to do what they can in these damper sections. Even that little advantage could have made a big difference. You can see for Bassani, though, really confident on Tom Sykes in the run down in towards turn 15.
Axel Bassani, who's already been the star of the show in damp conditions earlier on this campaign in Barcelona, cutting his way through the field once again. Michael Ruben Rinaldi, after a strong start to this race, has dropped back outside the top 10. The start of lap 3, Razgatlioglu has been close each lap around at the end of this 507-metre start-finish straight. Finally, he gets it done. Jonathan Ray turns into turn 1, but he can't get there. Toprak's already through, and Razgatlioglu hits the front in race 1.